Hi friends! Today we are going to do a side-by-side microphone comparison between two very high-quality, top-tier microphones that are very popular in the voice-over industry. And that is the Sennheiser MKH 416 and the one that I use regularly, which is the AKG C414. With both of these microphones, you won't ever have to worry about upgrading to another top-tier level of microphone. You can ride these microphones for the rest of your life and it will be acceptable in the industry. So let's get into it. So let's open up the Sennheiser. Comes with a manual. We'll never read that. Here is the connector to attach it to your microphone arm. And that gold adapter in the middle, you can take that out and switch that for different sizes that you need. The sock and the microphone. It feels very heavy duty. The entire thing is a very dense metal. And overall, it's pretty simple. There's no buttons or anything. It's just plug and go, and you're going to speak down the end of the barrel. So this AKG C414 XLS is a multi-pattern condenser microphone that offers a choice of 9 polar patterns. When I say polar patterns, I'm referring to the way that it grabs the sound from around the microphone. For voiceover purposes, I use the cardioid pattern, which is very standard, and it grabs the sound in a nice round way from really only the front of the microphone. Other patterns are good for other uses, such as when you're recording instruments or singing, perhaps recording outdoors, and you want some of that extra sound surrounding. This AKG allows you to change the pattern, the decibel level, and the hertz level from the microphone itself. This is really great because it gives you more control, and the more control you have closer to the microphone, the better. So this is a very versatile mic in this way. Aside from that, it's a very solid mic. It's metal material, it has a great weight to it, and it feels nice and sturdy. The Sennheiser is a shotgun microphone, meaning that it only takes sound from this direction. It's an incredibly durable mic, which makes it great for recording in all different types of environments. It has great noise rejection. It is pretty immune to moisture in the atmosphere. And the pattern is a super cardioid low bar pattern, and this is what it looks like. So it's really only taking the sound from this direction, but it rounds it out in, kind of complicated ways. We'll see what that translates to in sound, but for now I'll say that this tends to be the preferred microphone for promo gigs because of what it does to the sound quality. You don't have the ability to change the pattern, the decibel level, or the hertz level like you do with the AKG, but for voiceover purposes, that is perfectly fine, and for other purposes as well. And you will still have enough flexibility in your interface and the DAW that you're using that you'll probably never wish for more. The mic itself feels very sturdy. It has a nice weight. The metal around it feels like it's holding all of the sensitive bits safely and securely in its little cage. All right, so now let's get into testing. Just as the planets revolve around the sun in our solar system, we derive our life purpose from the sun in our natal charts. The sun is our ego. It is also our adult, the part of us that censors our inner child, that reasons things out and makes final decisions. The sun is our basic identity representing self-realization. When you are asked, "Who are you?" and you've passed your basic statistics and occupation, your answers will likely embody a description of your sun. The sun also represents our overall vitality. The sun directs us and can be considered the boss of our chart. So we will start with microphone B, which was the Sennheiser microphone. And if you can't tell, the camera's over here, but I need to make an effort to speak directly down the barrel because that is how you're supposed to use these shotgun mics. This is the direction that the sound is entering into the microphone through. Even if I turn off to the side and project this way, it changes the sound a bit in the microphone, whereas on the AKG, it's picking up more of a round pattern over here, so it can pick up the sound when I'm projecting this way. Especially if I'm speaking completely off the center of the microphone, you can definitely hear the sound quality and how it changes, and it doesn't sound quite as nice as if I'm speaking directly down the barrel. And I think that's one of the reasons why the shotgun mic is very popular in promo, because when you speak down the barrel, it gets very intimate in the sound and it sounds very full and rounded, and it kind of wraps around your head when you're watching a movie trailer, and it's that rounded, deep voice that you tend to hear. Even in regular promo work, it's kind of like up in your ear. They want that sound to jump out from the rest of all of the commercials that are going by, and they want to capture your attention. And you're really able to do that with this type of microphone. So let's do some of the testing. We'll do the whisper test. I don't have a good spot for this, so I'll just hold it. By house, the sun's position shows where our personalities shine. The areas of life associated with that house reveal the types of experiences that contribute to our sense of individuality and that shape our sense of pride. These areas of life are ones in which we seek to express and focus our sun sign qualities. In the chart, the position of the sun by zodiac sign represents the native's life purpose and the style in which they leave their mark in the world. So mic A was my regular microphone, the AKG C414, and I can use this microphone for any voiceover purposes that I have, and that's what I typically do because I don't want to be switching it out all the time, or if I need to get something out the door quickly. This is my go-to microphone, and it is widely accepted and used in the industry. The things that I like about this microphone are the ways in which I can use it. So if I want to project my voice without really screaming, and I want to give a little bit more of a sense of the room around me, I can back up off of the microphone. And in my recordings, if I need to sound like I'm kind of projecting across a distance, I can do that perfectly well with this microphone. I can also mess with the gain like you do, with any interface, where I can get very quiet and speak in a very intimate distance and sound very close to your ear, versus whenever I'm projecting from way back here, it doesn't overblow the mic in any way. This microphone can handle very large jumps in volume and decibel level. I also like that for certain purposes and different types of recording, I can speak off center to the microphone and it changes the sound just a little bit. So if I raise my volume just a little bit and I'm going to say words that have a lot of P's or S's and I don't want to overwhelm the microphone, I can just look off to the side. I can also speak off to the side of this microphone and it gives me a different effect, but it still captures all of the sounds in a perfectly acceptable way. So let's do the whisper test with this microphone. I'll continue reading from the astrology page that we were reading from earlier. The sun is so important in the chart that the happiest people on this earth are those who identify without over-identifying with the sun's expression. Though one might think that the traits of their sun would come easily to them, the truth is, the sun shows what we are learning to be. It is very important to remember that the sun represents reason as opposed to instinct. Now, yelling. With respect to the other luminary, the moon, the sun reflects the present or the here and now, while the moon infuses the past into our lives through the feelings. And bear in mind that this is all raw audio that you're hearing right now. This isn't with any mastering on the back end. And all microphones in VoiceOver use a mastering process on the back end to really polish it up. So this is all going to be a raw recording that you hear with both microphones. And then at the end, you'll be able to hear what it sounds like once it has that polished tone to it. Okay, so because you can't really go wrong with either of these microphones, you might be sitting at home wondering, well, which one is right for me? How do I know which one to pick? And it made me curious as to how much influence you can really have in the mastering process after you've recorded into your microphone. So I'm going to send these files to my favorite audio engineer, Lenny B, who makes all of my presets for me, and see if he can master the raw files to make the AKG take on all of those great qualities of the Sennheiser and vice versa. All right, so it's been a couple of days, and I was able to hop on a call with Lenny and talk about what I'm doing, talk about both of these microphones, and boil down his answers into what's going to be most relevant for you in understanding which one of these microphones might be right for you either now or in the future. So let's get into it.
So this is really important to remember, that the most important piece of equipment when it comes to recording voice is the room. That's where the sound really begins. And I guess the best way to describe this is, the microphone is picking up your pure voice, right? When you speak, it goes directly to the mic, but then it bounces around the room, and that very sensitive microphone, which you have two of now, is going to pick up those reflections as well as your voice. So if you could minimize those reflections and absorb them, that will actually have more of a positive effect to your sound than any other piece of equipment. So you could make a less expensive, cheaper microphone sound good in a well-treated room, but the opposite is true. You can have a boutique $3,000-$4,000 microphone, and if it's in a poor acoustically treated room, it won't sound that good. So acoustic treatment it's the biggest thing that is going to improve your sound. If you are recording voiceover and you're looking to get a different type of a sound, I feel as an audio engineer that you can accomplish that with EQ and compression. Those different sounds, something maybe punchy, bold, something maybe a little more mid-range or edgy, maybe a little bit with a high-end crispness to it or a clarity. Those changes I think can really be done well with EQ and compression. Versus maybe saying, okay, I need this microphone to get this particular sound or that microphone to get the other particular sound. I think you can accomplish that stuff, in my opinion, as an audio engineer and someone who works with EQ and compression constantly. You have a lot of leeway, providing you're in a well-treated space, so those reflections and resonance problems aren't playing into the equation. So if you've got a well-treated space and you're getting a balanced microphone raw sound, you can do a lot with EQ and compression. In my opinion, I don't think you need to have 5 mics. If you want 5 mics and you just like having a bunch of different ones, you can get a little flavor difference between them, but it's minimal compared to the changes and the character and color you could bring out with a different type of processing. Okay, I'll just draw your ear or focus your ear on a couple different things with these two microphones. Typically, in general, the C414 is known for a broad frequency, wide frequency sound, and it's very sensitive to low, mid, and high frequencies. Just a well-rounded sound. You're gonna hear the crispness, you're gonna hear the warmth of the bass, and it's just really sensitive, a really sensitive microphone. Versus the Sennheiser, MKH 416. This is a shotgun microphone, so the pickup pattern is different. So you're going to have a little bit less leeway when you move around. You may hear some of that. But this microphone, the MKH 416, is designed for dialogue, so it's very mid-focused. A lot of clarity in the mid-range. Also, it's designed to be a shotgun microphone that's pointing, above some actors, maybe 1 to 2 to 3 feet away. So it's designed to pick up a very focused beam of audio from further away. So when we use it which is totally fine to do, you're using it as a voiceover microphone, you're probably closer than that. So the proximity effect kind of plays into that. And, there's no rules. You can use a microphone however you want to get whatever kind of sound. There's a lot of artistic freedom when it comes to using a microphone. And if you use a microphone like the MKH 416 for voiceover, you're getting that mid-focused and then also that close proximity effect playing into that too. Are they going to sound totally vastly different? Not really, but you'll get a flavor. And I know you have a well-treated room, and I've done the processing on these two mics to bring out a balance between the two. So really, when you're in a well-treated room, you can really hear the difference between the two mics. I don't think it's going to be over the top. We'll listen to it now, and I've heard both of them before because I've worked on them for you with your voice in your room. But I think you may be surprised at how similar they sound. It's just the little intricacies that you're going to hear. I'm always happy to help you in any way that I can. If someone wants to get in touch with me, my website, lennyb.com, is really the best place to go. If you're on YouTube, you search Lenny B, and one of my videos will come up. And in each one of the descriptions for the videos, I've got links to my website and to the processing preset service and training courses and things. But lennyb.com is probably the best place to go if you need something from me.
Well, let's hear the results. The position of the sun by house, that is, the house that the sun occupies in the birth chart, reveals an area of life where we need to feel special. It is where we feel the need to distinguish ourselves from others. Just as the planets revolve around the sun in our solar system, we derive our life purpose from the sun in our natal charts. The sun is our ego. It is also our adult, the part of us that censors our inner child, that reasons things out and makes final decisions. The sun is our basic identity representing self-realization. All right, so now that we've heard the final results of mastered audio from both microphones in the same treated space, I think for me personally, my tried and true is still going to be the AKG C414. In both of the mastered files, I felt that you could hear more of a roundness to my voice with the AKG. And whenever I find myself in a position of wanting a very distinct sound that easily wraps around your head, and feels very intimate, I can always switch over to the shotgun. Or if I'm going to do a project that is going to be recording outside, if I record a YouTube video that I want to have really good audio quality in any other different kind of room, the Sennheiser is going to be the one that I reach for. But I really just think that the AKG is so versatile, and you have so many options of what you want to do just on the microphone itself with the different polar patterns and the hertz frequencies and decibel levels. And then you have so much flexibility in the mastering process that this is definitely my winner. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you next time.